consent agenda 1. The Pearson Air Park electrical replacement project. I'm hoping that there'll be a construction project labor agreement, whereas the labor unions in the community have supported just about every one of you up here in the city council. Secondly, I'd like to speak on the ethics complaint. I don't care who this is about. We had a governor named John Kitzhopper that was accused of the same thing. And he resigned from his job because he did give tax dollars from the public to a girlfriend, and he didn't recuse himself from any of those things. Secondly, I'm concerned that maybe somebody should have been recusing themselves as well about the property next door if it had anything to do with the employment that this person has with the tribes. And thirdly, and most importantly, freedom of speech. The person accused of this voted to take mine and every other citizen in this community's freedom of speech and told me specifically that my freedom of speech was a compromise. So I am worried about ethics, and I'm worried about civil rights, and I'm worried about people running my community that vote and talk and act out this way. I can commend Bart and Perez here, counselors that didn't vote to take my freedom of speech, and acting out in frustration at the forum last week was out of my cantor, but I'm extremely frustrated about it. And I hope that the council heard that loud and clear, because it's not a compromise. And my biggest concern is, if that's a compromise, what else is? So anyways, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Brett Earhart, please.
Good evening. My name is Brett Earhart. I'm the individual who filed the complaint against Councilmember Harless. I would like to try to at least defend myself in regards to some comments that were made earlier. First of all, anybody who has read The Columbian will clearly see John Park's own words stating they were dating at the beginning of 2022. That's what he said to them. I've also prepared a statement in regards to the investigative report that was provided with the agenda tonight. I filed this ethics complaint approximately 40 days ago. Policy 136, Section 9 mandates that the city attorney shall promptly review the complaint. Instead, we've seen significant delays. The city's attorney's office then cited an undisclosed potential conflict and delegated the review to an outside firm, a process not authorized by Policy 136 for initial screening. To me, this creates an inherent concern about bias, as the city has selected and compensated a firm tasked with reviewing the complaint. The regular procedure has resulted in a deeply flawed report. It should not serve as the basis for your decision tonight. If the city adopts these findings, you are enveloping yourselves in a compromised process that I strongly argue will not withstand judicial review. The outside counsel explicitly violated the review procedure. Policy 136 strictly limits this stage determining if the complaint on its face alleges facts that, if true, would substantiate a violation. It is not an investigation, yet the council acted as a fact finder and even titled their document an investigation report. On page 2, section 2A, the council improperly analyzed the evidence I cited, stating the photos and posts and judged their weight, stating even if true, this is insufficient. Judging the sufficiency of evidence is the role of the hearings examiner. On page 5, concerning the misuse of position and confidential information, the council dismissed my allegations of pure speculation. The council's job was only to determine if the alleged misuse, if true, violated the code. By judging the facts, the required procedure was violated. Report's most alarming error is its interpretation of state conflict of interest law. On pages 2 through 4, the report concludes that there is no violation of RCW 422330 because Councilmember Harless did not have a direct ownership stake in Vancouver Arena. This completely ignores the plain language of the statute, which prohibits municipal officers from being beneficially interested, directly or indirectly, in contracts they approve. Mr. Park is the governor of the organization and the grant applicant. The grant directly benefited him. As reported in the Columbia, Mr. Park stated he contributed his own funds to the event, meaning that grant relieved his personal financial burden. It is absurd to claim a person has no direct interest in the financial success of a fiancé with whom they cohabitate. The interpretation contradicts the intent of state ethics law, and I strongly argue that upon judicial review, this interpretation will be found fundamentally flawed. I'm out of time. I had another paragraph. May I continue, or would you like me to be done?
No, sir, you may not.
Okay, thank you.
Councilors, you have a consent agenda. Are there any other items you would like to pull?